morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, I am showing you an incredibly strange deck that's actually really good, and kind of came out of nowhere to have a really good finish at the Madison Regional Championships this weekend. I'm a little bit excited about this, and you should be too. Now, this was brought to my attention over on my YouTube channel, where Alex Eads tells me that it went 6-1-2 and just bubbled out of Top Cut. Unfortunately, with a high turnout, you have to go X2 in order to guarantee Top Cut, and unfortunately, that was a little bit low. Then over on Twitter, Anthony Ekman brought it to my attention again, sending me a picture of the deck list. So thank you very much to those lovely ladies and gentlemen. And I'm told that it was Zach Zamora who actually took this to Madison and had a good run. So thank you to those lovely people. It's basically ZOROARK Exeggutor, or it's actually Alolan Exeggutor, which, given that that is all over Pokemon Go at the moment, pretty gosh darn topical. Now, I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail about ZOROARK GX. We've all seen it for a long time. Largely here, this is here for trade. Discard a card from your hand, draw 2. You need to discard energy in this deck. You need to get set up, and that's what ZOROARK does. Very simply. You're not really even attacking with it. Now, you do have double colorless energy, so you can. And it is a viable attacker, but it's not really the one you want to be attacking with here. You just attack with it if you've got nothing else to attack with at the moment. Or if your opponent brings out like a Dawn Wings Necrozma, in which case, yes, of course you do, it's weak. But it's all really about Alolan Exeggutor here. And there's a bit of a split going on. The main one here is the Alolan Exeggutor from Forbidden Light. And what it does is, for a single grass energy, 20 damage, plus 20 more for each type of basic energy in your discard. But you can only add a maximum 100 damage. So essentially, you get 5 energy in the discard, different, and you're hitting 120 for a single energy on a non-GX that has 160 HP. Your opponent can't use Choice Band to go and get a KO on you, so actually you've got a lot of survivability here. It's pretty much the equivalent of having 160 HP like Duskmane Necrozma or Ultra Necrozma. Big fan, ladies and gentlemen. Big fan. It's a really good Pokemon, but it does take a bit of time. This is where ZOROARK comes in. Firstly, you need to be discarding all of the energy with ZOROARK, so you can attack with Alolan Exeggutor, but it's not that realistic that you're going to be able to get going that quickly with this, so you've got ZOROARK here hitting as an attacker in the early game. We also have Alolan Exeggutor GX in this deck, though only one of them. And for a single grass energy, you've got Tropical Head here, which allows you to do 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to it to one of your opponent's Pokemon. I.e., free energy on there, you can then hit 60 to the bench, KOing something like a ZOROARK, for instance. Or, if you pile a lot of energy on there, you have got a couple of other attacks, like Tower Go Round GX, 180, move any number of energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way that you like. This is another reason we played double colorless energy in the deck, so this essentially turns into 3 energy rather than 4. It's a decent GX attack. You whack a Choice Band on there, and then all of a sudden you are able to hit for 210, and that really does KO most of the main Pokemon at the moment. Now, we also do see a couple of other Pokemon in the list. Obviously, we see Tapu Lele. Wonder Tag, get your supporters, helps you set up. We see a Mew EX, although really this is just here as a Buzzwole counter. That way, you can use Mew to copy Alolan Exeggutor and, you know, straight away one-hit KO against a Buzzwole. Although, to be clear, right, one of the great things about Alolan Exeggutor is doing a decent amount of damage on 160 HP single prize non-GX. Bit of bulk. Mew has 120 HP and gives up 2 prizes. Now, to be fair, if you can KO a Buzzwole for a single grass energy, you're definitely going to do it. Just something to bear in mind, I suppose. You could also use Mew to copy ZOROARK for a double colorless. That would do the same kind of thing. And we see one copy of Kartana here. Now, I still think Kartana should be a tech in way more decks than it actually is. But the thing is right here, you only really need to play a bunch of different energies, so just play a metal energy, and then Kartana can actually use its attack that takes a prize. You're down to 1 prize remaining after taking 5. Kartana's GX attack wins the game. And then the ability is just an enhanced hammer, gets rid of a special energy. Maybe it's a beast energy off a Buzzwole, for instance. I like it. I still think Kartana should be played in a lot more decks than it actually is. Now, one thing that's probably going to look weird to you here, the energy line. 1 fairy, 1 metal, 1 darkness, 1 fighting, 1 psychic, free grass. Now, obviously, the free grass, I'll say you can attack with Alolan Exeggutor. But the other energy here are so that you can discard them to power up Alolan Exeggutor. Now, you only need 5 different energy in the discard. So why are there 6 different energy in the deck? Because the last thing you want to do is play 2 metal and hit both the metal early game. You've got to play multiple grass so you can hit the grass to attack. But the others here, you want to play as many different ones as you've got space for, so that you don't accidentally discard 2 metal, so you'd only play 1 of each to maximise the chances of getting 5 in the discard as early as possible. And actually, as a side note here, you are hitting weakness against Lapras and Lycanroc. They're decent Pokemon against which to be hitting weakness. Yay! And that really is the deck in a nutshell. ZOROARK discards energy, sets up and is an early game attacker, but as soon as you possibly can, you want to be bringing in Alolan Exeggutor to be hitting decent damage for a single energy. Now, in terms of the trainer count here, there's lots you should expect. 2 copies of Bridget because you want an early game wonder tag for a Bridget, 2 in case one of them is prized. 2 Cynthia, 2 N, 2 Professor Sycamore. These are the best draw cards we've got in the format. Nice little variety here, but they're the free supporters we've got. 4 copies of Ultra Ball because it's the only card you can really use to search out any of your Pokemon, so you need to. 2 copies of Floatstone to give yourself a nice lot of free retreat whenever you feel like it. Always quite important. Get that right Pokemon in the active. Plus, Alolan Exeggutor does have a fairly higher retreat cost, free in either case, the GX and the non-GX here. We then see a couple copies of Choice Band to do a bit of extra damage. Couple copies of Ace Roller. You got 160 HP Pokemon. It attacks for a single energy. It's not going to be one-hit KO'd by that many things. All good ingredients for using Ace Roller here. Big fan. I think Ace Roller is great. You don't want to use max potions. You don't want to discard the energy. You're only playing free grass. You want the others in the discard, not grass. Ace Roller, great shout. And 2 copies of Guzma because dragging Pokemon off the bench and KOing them is fun. Why only 2 copies of Guzma? Because we got a full suite of 4 Puzzle of Time. Puzzle of Time is great in ZOROARK decks because you can keep cards in your hand, discard the ones you don't mind discarding, draw into double Puzzle of Time, and then you're reusing stuff like your grass energy, like your Alolan Exeggutor, and you're only playing 2 of the good Alolan Exeggutor, like by which I mean the non-GX. And then you can reuse your double colorless energy, or you can reuse your Ace Roller. You see where I'm going with this. Puzzle of Time is great in ZOROARK decks and decks where you need a lot of different tricks. This one totally counts. 2 copies of Field Blower because you really don't want to be ability locked by Garbodor because otherwise you can't trade away those energies. 2 copies of Professor's Letter. I love Professor's Letter in this deck because you search for 2 random energies, then immediately discard them with ZOROARK. 2 copies is a nice little compromise here. It's enough that you should be able to draw them early enough with ZOROARK. Obviously, you'd like to play more, but space is an issue. 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher, just to recover your Pokemon. And 1 copy of Multi-Switch here, so that you can, well, switch your energy round. Move a double colorless from a ZOROARK over onto an Alolan Exeggutor GX to use a GX attack. Or switch onto a Mew to use Mew's attack. Or switch a Metal Energy onto a Kartana for the GX attack, etc. This is cool, and remember, with Puzzle of Time, you can reuse it. And did I mention double colorless yet? I mean, I did in many times. You play 4 of them because, you know, it works in many ways. It's a really good deck. It's a really fun deck. Yesterday, I believe, was actually National Egg Day, so that's quite nice. Alolan Exeggutors just come into Pokemon Go, so that's topical. And on my streams, twitch.tv/PTCGRadio, Alolan Exeggutors become a little bit of a meme. We've had many games playing it. It's been a lot of fun. I like this, ladies and gentlemen. I like inventive decks. I love being able to look at them at my channel. And huge shout outs once again to a couple of lovely people, Anthony Ekman and Alex Eads, who really brought this to my attention so I could bring it to your attention. Thank you, boys. Absolutely love it. And as always, do get in touch on Twitter @TheWassy or email me at ptcgradio@hotmail.co.uk if a good deck does well and I'm not bringing a profile of it fast enough for your liking. But now, I want to hear what you think about Alolan Exeggutor. Tell me all the good things in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do just that. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.